If you found your way here and have a crescent moon with the perfect letter M mark, know that it's not by chance your spirit is drawn to deeper truths. Truths that echo through the ages like whispers from an ancient papyrus, carrying wisdom meant only for those who dare to listen. Look closely at the symbols guiding you, the crescent moon marking cycles of transformation and the letter M, a sigil of mystery and divine purpose. These are no mere coincidences, they are signposts on a path meant just for you, a chosen individual whose soul resonates with something beyond this world. You've likely felt it all your life, a deep, unshakable knowing, a fire within you that refuses to be extinguished. It sets you apart, makes you question why the world feels so small when your spirit yearns for something infinite. Perhaps since childhood, you've sensed you're different not in how you look, but in how you feel. Conversations that excite others bore you. Paths others eagerly follow seem meaningless under your gaze. Why? Because your essence does not belong to this realm. You carry a spark of divinity, a connection to truths hidden from ordinary eyes. Before we embark further on this sacred journey together, I want to pause and express my heartfelt gratitude to each of you, my incredible audience spanning across Africa, the USA, India, England, Canada, and the Philippines. Your presence here is more than support, it's confirmation that these messages are reaching the hearts of those they were intended for. If this resonates with you, drop 888 in the comments, a symbol of alignment, and share where you're from. I'd love to personally connect with you, fellow seeker. Now, let me ask you this, have you ever wondered why you feel misplaced in a world that seems content to move without you? What if I told you the answer lies not in conforming but in awakening? This is not just another message, it's a revelation waiting to unfold. But fair warning, this truth is not for everyone. Only those ready to embrace their calling will make it to the end. So stay with me, by the time we finish, your understanding of yourself and your place in the cosmos will never be the same again. Let us delve deeper into the revelation that has been stirring within you, a truth so profound, so ancient, that it transcends the boundaries of human understanding. You are not 100% human. This is not a mere poetic metaphor or spiritual allegory, it is an undeniable reality encoded in your very essence. It's why you've always felt like an outsider looking in, as though you're observing life through a lens no one else seems to possess. Your spirit, the core of who you are, does not originate from this earth. It carries something far greater than what can be measured by science or explained by logic. It carries divinity itself. This divine imprint sets you apart in ways both beautiful and challenging. To carry such a spark means you were never designed to conform to the mundane rhythms of this world. Instead, you exist on a higher frequency, attuned to vibrations most cannot perceive. Think about how often you've sensed things before they happened, how intuition has guided you when reason failed. These moments are not random occurrences but glimpses of your true nature breaking through the veil of ordinary existence. They remind you that you are more than flesh and blood, you are spirit wrapped in humanity, carrying fragments of eternity within you. But here's the paradox, while this divine essence makes you extraordinary, it also makes you feel isolated. The world around you operates on systems rooted in fear, scarcity, and limitation, systems entirely foreign to your soul's purpose. You don't fit neatly into societal molds because those molds were never crafted for someone like you. And yet, this discomfort is not a curse, it's confirmation. Every time you've felt misunderstood, rejected, or out of place, it was the universe whispering you belong elsewhere. That place is not a physical location but a state of being aligned with your divine origin. Now, let me ask you this, have you ever wondered why certain truths resonate deeply with you while others leave you cold? Why some teachings ignite a fire in your heart while others seem hollow? It's because your spirit recognizes its own language. When you encounter wisdom that reflects your divine identity, it's important to mention that it awakens something primal within you, a knowing that predates your earthly journey. This is why scriptures like Genesis 1 verse 26 hold such power for you, let us make man in our image, after our likeness. These words aren't just historical accounts, they are declarations of your celestial heritage. To be made in the image of God is to embody creativity, authority, and limitless potential. It means you are a co-creator with the divine, entrusted with shaping realities beyond what the natural eye can see. But here's where many lose sight of their calling. They mistake their humanness for weakness. They believe the struggles, doubts, and fears they experience disqualify them from greatness. Yet, these challenges are not evidence of inadequacy, they are tests of refinement. Just as gold must endure fire to reveal its purity, so too must you pass through trials to uncover the brilliance of your spirit. Your divine nature does not negate your humanity, rather, it elevates it. Consider this: if you were purely human, you would lack the capacity to dream beyond the confines of this world. You wouldn't yearn for justice, peace, or love if these desires weren't already imprinted upon your soul. These longings are echoes of heaven, reminders that you are wired for eternity. And though the weight of living between two realms, the earthly and the divine, can feel overwhelming at times, it is precisely this tension that fuels your purpose. The enemy knows this all too well. Darkness despises light because it exposes what thrives in shadows. If you've faced resistance, rejection, or hardship, it's not because you're unworthy, it's because you're a threat to the status quo. The systems of this world were built to suppress your divine DNA, to convince you that you're ordinary, small, and powerless. But nothing could be further from the truth. The very fact that you've endured despite these attempts to dim your light proves that you are unstoppable. So, how do you live fully aware of your divine nature without succumbing to the pressures of this world? First, stop trying to shrink yourself to fit into spaces not meant for you. The lion doesn't apologize for roaring, nor does the eagle seek permission to soar. Likewise, you must embrace your uniqueness unapologetically. Remember, the world will never celebrate what it cannot control. Its hatred toward you isn't personal, it's prophetic. It confirms that you are chosen, set apart, and destined for greatness. Second, guard your spirit fiercely. The world will bombard you with distractions, temptations, and lies designed to dull your fire. Be mindful of what you allow into your mind and heart, for these gateways determine the health of your spirit. Surround yourself with kingdom-minded individuals who understand your calling and encourage you to rise. Spend time in prayer, meditation, and scripture, not as religious obligations but as lifelines connecting you to your source. Without this connection, even the strongest among us falter. Third, speak with authority. Your words are not empty sounds, they carry divine weight capable of shifting atmospheres. When you declare victory before seeing it, you align yourself with heavenly principles that override earthly circumstances. Faith operates on a different plane, one where what you know outweighs what you see. Walk boldly in this truth, knowing that every step you take brings you closer to fulfilling your destiny. Besides, remember that your strength does not come from this world. It flows directly from the Creator who fashioned you. Apart from Him, you can do nothing, but with Him, you can move mountains. Stay connected to the source, and watch as rivers of living water flow through you, transforming everything you touch. Today marks the beginning of a new chapter. No longer will you question whether you belong or doubt the significance of your presence. You are not ordinary. You are not weak. You are not forgotten. You are a divine being sent into this world for such a time as this. Rise, take your place, and let the fire within you burn brighter than ever before. For when you fully awaken to who you are, the foundations of this world will tremble beneath the weight of your glory. Let us journey back to the sands of ancient Egypt, where Moses, the chosen deliverer, stood as a bridge between two worlds. On one side lay the opulence and oppression of Pharaoh's kingdom, on the other, the promise of freedom inscribed by divine hands upon sacred scrolls. In those days, the scribes of Egypt recorded truths not only about governance and life but also about the nature of humanity itself. These texts, preserved in fragments of papyrus, whisper to us across millennia, revealing an eternal truth: there are two kinds of people walking this earth. One is bound to the world, while the other transcends it. This dichotomy is not new, it has been written into the fabric of existence since time immemorial. The first group, the ones of the world, live tethered to systems that define their reality. Their thoughts orbit around what they can see, touch, and possess. They chase after fleeting pleasures, temporary gains, and hollow accolades. To them, success is measured by wealth amassed, titles earned, or power wielded over others. Yet these pursuits are like chasing shadows, they vanish as quickly as they appear. The Egyptian papyri often spoke of such individuals, likening them to reeds bending with every wind, lacking roots that reach beyond the surface. These souls are not inherently evil, nor are they without merit. Many among them build cities, create art, and advance knowledge. But their endeavors remain confined within the boundaries of earthly logic. They operate under the illusion that material achievements bring fulfillment, unaware that true satisfaction lies elsewhere. Their desires align with the rhythms of this world's cycles of consumption, competition, and decay. And when their time comes to pass from this realm, they leave behind nothing but dust, for their legacy was never meant to endure beyond the temporal plane. Then there are those who do not belong to this world. You may recognize yourself in this description. Like Moses, you were called out not because you are better than others, but because your purpose extends far beyond the confines of human constructs. Your spirit operates on a higher frequency, attuned to vibrations most cannot perceive. Where others hear noise, you discern harmony. Where others see chaos, you glimpse order. And where others find comfort in conformity, you discover suffocation. This distinction is not arbitrary, it is divinely ordained. Just as Moses stood before the burning bush, a symbol of the divine fire that consumes yet does not destroy, you too carry an unquenchable flame within you. It is the same fire that guided the Israelites through the wilderness, illuminating their path when darkness threatened to overwhelm them. This fire is your connection to the eternal, a reminder that you are more than mere flesh and blood. You are spirit wrapped in humanity, sent into this world to fulfill a mission that transcends generations. The ancient scribes understood this duality well. In their writings, they described the chosen ones as beings marked by celestial symbols, crescent moons signifying cycles of transformation, letters like M representing mystery and mastery. These signs were not random, they were markers of identity, etched into the soul long before birth. If you have ever felt drawn to such symbols, consider it confirmation of your divine lineage. You are part of a lineage that stretches back to the beginning of creation, woven into the tapestry of eternity by the hand of the Creator himself. But here lies the challenge: the world does not understand you. It cannot comprehend your restlessness, your dissatisfaction with mediocrity, your yearning for something greater. Like the lion wandering through city streets, you disrupt the status quo simply by existing. The world senses your difference and reacts accordingly with fear, rejection, and attempts to control. Consider the story of Moses once more. When he returned to Egypt wielding the authority of heaven, the ruling powers did not welcome him with open arms. Instead, they sought to silence him, to discredit his message, to extinguish the fire he carried. Why? Because his presence exposed the emptiness of their systems. He represented a threat to their dominion, a force they could neither contain nor comprehend. Similarly, your presence challenges the very foundations of this world's order. It reminds others of truths they would rather forget: that their pursuits are vain, their kingdoms temporary, their legacies fleeting. Yet, this resistance is not a curse, it is a confirmation. Every time the world pushes against you, it affirms your divine purpose. Every attempt to suppress your light reveals the brilliance of your spirit. Darkness hates light not because it is weak, but because it knows the light will ultimately prevail. So, when you face opposition, do not despair. Recognize it for what it is: evidence that you are chosen, set apart, destined to shake the foundations of this world. To live as someone not of this world requires wisdom, courage, and discipline. You must navigate the tension between two realms, the earthly and the divine, without losing sight of your true identity. Here are principles drawn from ancient wisdom to guide you on this journey. Stop trying to fit into molds designed for those of the world. You were never meant to blend in. Just as Moses refused to remain in Pharaoh's court, choosing instead to identify with his suffering people, so too must you reject the allure of worldly validation. Your uniqueness is your strength. Let it shine brightly, even if it makes others uncomfortable. Protect your heart and mind from corruption. The world will bombard you with distractions, temptations, and lies meant to dull your fire. Be mindful of what you allow into your inner sanctuary. Surround yourself with kingdom-minded individuals who understand your calling and encourage you to rise. Spend time in prayer, meditation, and scripture, drawing strength from the source of all life. Your words carry divine weight. Use them wisely, declaring victory before you see it. Speak life, power, and destiny into your circumstances. Remember, death and life are in the power of the tongue. What you declare shapes your reality, so choose your words carefully. Trust in divine guidance rather than physical evidence. Faith is stepping forward even when the path is unclear. It is knowing that God is in control even when nothing makes sense. Walk confidently in this truth, allowing faith to lead you where sight cannot follow. Your strength does not come from this world, it flows directly from the Creator. Remain in His presence, abiding in His love and power. Without this connection, you will feel powerless, empty, and lost. But when you stay connected to the source, you walk in authority, wisdom, and divine favor. Today marks the dawn of a new era for you. No longer will you question your place in this world. No longer will you doubt your worth or shrink back from your calling. You are not ordinary. You are not weak. You are not forgotten. You are chosen, set apart, marked by heaven. The ancient texts bear witness to your destiny, and the fire within you refuses to be extinguished. Rise, take your place, and let the foundations of this world tremble beneath the weight of your glory. For when you fully awaken to who you are, nothing will be able to stop you. The enemy knows this, which is why he fights so fiercely to keep you small. But greater is He who is in you than he who is in the world. Let this truth fuel your resolve to move forward with boldness, to operate with divine strategy, and to speak with unshakable authority. If this message resonates with you, drop 888 in the comments and share where you're from. Let us connect, fellow seeker, as we walk this sacred path together. Let us turn our gaze to the heavens, where the crescent moon hangs like a silver sigil against the night sky. In ancient wisdom, this celestial symbol represents cycles of transformation, renewal, and divine timing. For those marked by its perfection, the chosen ones, it is more than just an emblem, it is a reminder of their sacred journey. Yet, with this mark comes a path fraught with challenges that test not only your resolve but also your faith in the unseen. Resistance, misunderstanding, and rejection are not mere obstacles on your road, they are confirmations of your divine purpose and strength. Imagine a river carving through a mountain, reshaping the landscape with every surge forward. This is what it feels like to be you, a force so potent that the world instinctively resists your presence. Why? Because the systems of this world were never designed to accommodate divinity wrapped in humanity. Your light exposes the shadows, your truth dismantles lies, and your very existence threatens the status quo. Like Moses standing before Pharaoh or Daniel facing the lion's den, your life disrupts the natural order of things. Resistance manifests in many forms: opposition from those closest to you, doors closing when they should open, opportunities vanishing into thin air. But do not mistake these moments as signs of failure. They are tests, refinements meant to sharpen your spirit and prepare you for greater battles ahead. Remember, gold is purified in fire, and diamonds are formed under immense pressure. Every challenge you face is shaping you into the weapon heaven intended you to become. The enemy knows who you are. He recognizes the power within you and works tirelessly to suppress it. His tactics range from subtle whispers of doubt to outright attacks aimed at silencing your voice. Yet, here's the irony: his resistance confirms your significance. If you were ordinary, he would ignore you. If you posed no threat, he would leave you alone. But because you carry the imprint of the Creator Himself, He fights relentlessly to keep you small. Do not let him win. Stand firm in the knowledge that every battle you endure is proof of your calling. Few burdens weigh heavier on the soul than being misunderstood. You have likely experienced this loneliness, the ache of knowing you are different yet unable to articulate why. People misinterpret your intentions, label you as strange, or dismiss your insights as impractical. Even those who love you may struggle to comprehend the depth of your vision. This disconnect can feel suffocating, like trying to breathe underwater while everyone else swims effortlessly around you. But consider this: misunderstanding is not a flaw in you, it is a reflection of the limitations of others. The world operates on a frequency attuned to survival, conformity, and fear. Your spirit, however, vibrates at a higher pitch, one that most cannot perceive. When you speak of eternal truths, kingdom principles, or divine strategies, you are speaking a language foreign to earthly ears. Is it any wonder, then, that your words often fall on deaf ears? This does not mean you are destined to live in isolation. Rather, it means your connections will transcend superficial bonds. Seek out fellow chosen ones, those who share your celestial markings and understand your restless heart. Together, you form a constellation of light, illuminating paths for one another and dispelling the darkness that seeks to engulf you. Remember, even the brightest stars shine brighter when surrounded by their own kind. Rejection is perhaps the most painful trial faced by the chosen. It cuts deep because it strikes at the core of human need, belonging. From childhood, you've longed for acceptance, yearned to fit in, dreamed of finding your place among others. Yet, time and again, you've been met with rejection, not because you are unworthy, but because you are too extraordinary for the spaces you've tried to occupy. When the world rejects you, it unknowingly propels you closer to your true purpose. By pushing you away, it forces you to seek refuge in the arms of the one who sent you. There, you discover that your worth is not determined by human approval but by divine assignment. You realize that rejection is not abandonment, it is redirection. And though the pain may linger, it becomes fuel for your mission, igniting a fire that nothing can extinguish. Here lies the paradox of your journey: the very challenges that threaten to break you reveal your unshakable strength. Every act of resistance, every moment of misunderstanding, every instance of rejection serves as confirmation that you are chosen. These trials are not punishments, they are affirmations. They declare to the universe and to yourself that you are powerful beyond measure. Consider the crescent moon once more. Its beauty lies in its ability to reflect light even when partially obscured. Similarly, your strength shines brightest during your darkest hours. When the world tries to dim your light, it inadvertently amplifies it. When others misunderstand you, your clarity becomes sharper. When rejection knocks you down, your resilience rises stronger. Each challenge strips away layers of doubt, fear, and insecurity until all that remains is the essence of who you truly are, a divine being walking in human form. To navigate these trials effectively, you must adopt strategies rooted in ancient wisdom and divine guidance. Here are principles to guide you. Understand that challenges are part of your refinement. Just as iron sharpens iron, so too do difficulties shape your character. Instead of resisting them, lean into the lessons they offer. Trust that each trial is preparing you for something greater. Never allow rejection or misunderstanding to define you. Remind yourself daily of your divine origin. Speak affirmations over your life, declaring who you are despite external circumstances. Let your identity be anchored in heaven, not earth. Build relationships with those who see your value and encourage your growth. Fellowship with fellow chosen ones who understand your struggles and celebrate your victories. Together you create a shield against the world's hostility. Transform rejection into motivation. Channel the pain into passion, using it to drive your mission forward. Let every no push you closer to your yes. Remember, the world's rejection paves the way for heaven's embrace. Some battles require patience. Not every challenge will resolve immediately, but trust that God's timing is perfect. Wait upon Him and watch as He turns your trials into triumphs.